Good. Have a good morning.
Happy Veterans Day.
That's great. Blow it out.
Happy Veterans Day.
No, I'm not a veteran. You are. That's Veterans Day. And that's
Welcome to
our podcast. That's Sunday,
November 11th.
November 11th.
Yes. And also too, I'm Greg. This is Louie. Welcome to Garage Door Politics, our live podcast on November 11th, Veterans Day. And also, it's my wife's birthday, and I want to wish my lovely, beautiful wife a happy birthday.
And I follow him on that.
And but anyway, as usual, we want to give a shout out to all the veterans. Thank you for your service, and
I have to thank you
I appreciate all that, Louis.
and my son too.
Yep, your son Diego, who actually
My second son.
did a couple tours in Iraq.
Twice in Iraq.
In Iraq, yeah.
He was on the bomb squad, and the way he told me, twice they almost felt like they could have lost their lives.
Yes.
Even inside of a ramp.
Right. I wanna commend your son for serving, and
He's 37 years old now. He lives in Florida. And I wish my son the best.
and we all do.
He's got what? How you say PTSD?
PTSD.
D.
PTSD, right. It's the same thing that they suspect to chronological week. We had another mass shooting in Thousand Oaks, California at a
Right.
country and western bar, and it was the person who perpetrated that act was a former combat Marine that served in Afghanistan, I believe.
Right. That's even worse than Iraq.
And they believe that he was had PTSD, and
Yeah, they are starting to
Right.
get more information about the guy. And the worst is what? Well, that I got 3 or 4 days ago. That the Veterans Administration denied. They said you don't have PTSD.
well, that's what I've always said. You know that.
And that
Of all,
remains to be seen.
of all the countries in the world, I think the United States does less for the veterans than than they should, only because we've had a lot. And to go with that, we also marked the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I.
That's what I'm gonna. That's my first Trump in Paris.
And let me set it up. They're in Paris to market all the countries that were involved in it. The French president came out today and said something to kind of rebuff Trump, President Trump.
Everybody's trying.
And he said, and I quote from the President Macron of France, he said, millions of soldiers who died in the Great War fought to defend the universal values of France, Macron said, and to reject the selfishness of nations only looking at their interests, because patriotism is exactly the opposite of nationalism.
That's what I'm
So
talking about.
what do you think about that? What President Macron of France said today?
I'm gonna start to Trump in Paris. Just on his way to Paris, he slammed President Macron. I didn't put it here. Why? Now the way he is. He slammed the Prime Minister of Canada, Trudeau. Same situation. Because they are against him on ideas.
What kind of
Like-
ideas?
You just said it.
The nationalistic ideas?
That was
How did that-
that's
how
what
does that
prompted the
compare?
World War One and World War Two. Nationalistic ideas.
Okay.
He
So
Trump says today is Trump. Trump says many times, I am a nationalist. So he is one for what? World War III? I hope not. I hope we can stop this guy. I told you, he's dangerous and he keeps being dangerous. As the worst is, he's dangerous as a man with a stratified brain that he can take what really is going on in the world in real ideas. He's still back on the way he was back in 1970s, 80s. He is my age. In a way, I understand that situation because I have my own problems with that at 72.
Well, how is patriotism different from nationalism?
Completely.
How? How?
You can be a patriot, but you don't go at war with another nation. That's being nationalist. See, that's a fine line
but
between.
we're not in war with anybody.
Macron said it. Trudeau said
We're
it.
not at war
It's
with
not
anybody.
just me.
We're not at war with anybody.
He is at war with the whole world at this point.
Well, but
Well, see, the difference is in the 21st century, the wars are not played on a physical battlefield.
okay.
It is played cybernetic, any kind of news. Fake news, whatever news Trump calls them.
Okay.
So,
So
are you satisfied with that? I don't know. We don't have
I'm
much
satisfied.
time.
I'm satisfied with that.
Okay.
Okay, well, I want to go to the next topic that you wanted to talk about, the incident that
Why
happened.
can't I come to the next stop? You have to.
Well,
do
I'm setting the viewers up for it. Okay.
Oh, I can set the views up.
Well, but I want to give a name. Jim Acosta,
Okay.
reporter from CNN, had a spat with President Trump.
I wasn't going to put his name. What I saw
Well,
okay.
Everybody knows.
I don't know if everybody knows.
And he had his press credentials
many-
taken away.
Many people are working, they can't see it, and they don't really give a damn.
Well, I beg to differ on that. It seems like Trump is popular news now. But what do you think about that
Okay.
confrontation about
Oh. Trump, on November the 17th,
that? It was the 7th, the day after the midterms.
the day after, I got sick and tired. I sent you an email about that.
Yeah, I
got
know.
sick and tired how the way he treats people. Every journalist that asked him questions that he didn't like, he blasted. I never seen a president doing that. Only Trump. Or a beautiful president doing that.
Okay, well, you know what? I beg to differ because I don't think Jim Acosta acted professionally because you get two questions at these press conferences, okay? And he knows the rules. He knows the rules. He's been a reporter for a long time.
No.
You get one question and a follow-up question. Okay, but he kept going and not letting anybody else have a question to get in a question. And
No.
then when they came to
Is that the rule?
that's
Is
the
that
rule.
official?
That's official.
Because I didn't know.
Yes.
But Trump always said, one question two questions. He had this Indian girl from India, and she said some kind of, see, the problem with Trump is, you ask him a question that he doesn't like, he blasts you. He starts to curse you, he starts to call you names. It was the whole time, from beginning to end. I said, this guy doesn't even know how to conduct a press conference. I just don't understand how you were right here, right now, defending a guy who doesn't even know how to talk to the journalists.
I have to defend him because the journalist had an agenda. That day, he had an agenda.
Everybody has an agenda.
And he wouldn't give up the microphone, and the woman was trying to give it to someone else to talk.
Because Trump said many times, he said he didn't like a journalist question. You sit down. Who the heck he thinks he is?
He's the president.
Doesn't give him the power to do what
you know what? And I've seen a couple of press conferences with former presidents that they've gotten a little testy with the press. So it does happen. There is a president.
Oh, it does happen.
But
no, they don't never said the way he says. It's the way he says.
Well, I'm sure he comes off a little rough when he comes and says it, but still,
a little rough.
There should be respect there. Some type of respect.
There is a respect.
For the other journalists is what I'm saying.
Mr. President, I call him Mr. Trump. Isn't that a respect?
I didn't say you weren't there.
No.
I'm talking about at the
They say,
conference.
Mr. President. To me, that's not disrespected. Don't come with the black ideas that everything we say, white people say, that's a disrespect. I have been accused by blacks.
Don't bring that. We were not going down that road. Okay?
Not yet.
We're not going down that road. But anyway, that's the way I feel about that. He didn't act professional, and he should have acted a little bit better, as far as giving these fellow journalists their time to ask a question. But no, he wanted to hog the microphone. So that's what the thing that I got.
Trump was disgusting.
You know what? That's the way I feel about it, and I know the way you
feel about it. He has no respect to people.
So what's next on your list?
I already talked about in Paris.
Yeah, you did. So, anyway.
Okay, this morning, by 5 o'clock in the morning, on PBS, I couldn't get because I was in bed.
Okay, well.
So I didn't get the guy's name. This guy, a devoted Republican.
Okay.
He got out of the Republican.
Of the party. That's fine. That's fine. People come and go.
I devoted. He said, since the Reagan
that's fine.
era,
they do what they want to do. That's fine.
Hold on. And then he said, what I have been saying here. He started to say, Trump this, Trump that. And, as I said, and I already said here, the GOP has become a spineless party. Everything Trump says, they just bend over. You see here in Nevada what happened to Heller, and I told you from the beginning, he's going to lose it.
Okay, well,
do you remember?
That's what I want to touch on next. I want to touch on the recap of the midterm.
I like him, and I always said from the beginning, I like him.
Well, I want to tout my horn because on last week's podcast, live podcast, I predicted that the House would flip to the Democrats and the Republicans would gain a couple seats in the Senate, which is exactly what happened.
Everybody expected that.
Well, not everybody. A lot of people thought it was going to be the big blue wave, which it came in as a,
It doesn't happen that way.
right, but a lot of people, like Nancy Pelosi and that,
I
you know,
never said that.
they, well, but other ones did.
Okay,
So,
well,
That,
on her position, she has to go for
okay,
that.
yeah,
I understand.
okay, but there's a couple other things that we still have some recounts in Florida, and I think one
And
somewhere
that's
else.
the second time.
Well, Florida's been shaky at
Always
best
shaky here and there on that.
on the voting, but
They're trying to
right after,
compound.
right the next day, right after, President Trump fired Jeff Sessions, and
Oh my God, that didn't even have it here.
yeah, fired Jeff Sessions. So they're saying that could be a constitutional crisis. Just want to touch on that just a bit.
Go ahead. Because I
I
didn't get
you know,
into
they-
that very much yet.
is what he did. When he fired Jeff Sessions, the deputy,
Oh, he didn't fire.
well, he forced him to resign. Okay.
That's the
Okay,
difference.
okay, but listen. Now, instead of going with Rod Rosenstein, who was the deputy,
Who was supposed to
he
take over.
leapfrogged and went to Matt Whitaker.
And then,
But the problem is,
that's another problem.
Well-
He said, I don't know the guy. And then I got a video clip of him. Oh, I know him now for 357 years.
Yeah.
Holy heck.
Well-
Oh, liar, deceiver. I keep saying
okay,
that.
let me finish here. I'm
Go
not
ahead.
finished.
This is that
Okay.
the inception.
Okay, but anyway, they're saying now, since Whitaker wasn't formally,
He hasn't.
by the Senate, confirmed by
hasn't.
the Senate,
Even
that
whatever he was
it's
before.
against the Constitution.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you know what? It seems to be. Everybody throws that out there. Everybody throws, this is against the Constitution. This is against the Constitution. And there
Okay.
are stuff that is.
Hold on.
But
You have to prove.
But both sides.
That's
do
why
it.
I can't say. Because what the heck I know about the Constitution? Very much. Very little. What I would say, as a matter of fact, as a joke,
Right.
we should, at this point, have an amendment to the Constitution.
For what?
Right on the first phrase. We, the people, we should put, I, Trump, I can do this, I can do that, whatever I want to do, I can do it, and that becomes the Constitution of the United States.
Okay.
He's trying to do that. Is that joke?
Yeah, okay. I hope so. We don't want the black shirts to come over and
I
visit
don't
your
want
house.
that either.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
But no, I'm starting to, you may say at this point, and we talked about that in 2016. You said, I go for Trump, and I said, I go for Trump.
okay.
We talked about that. The way Trump is doing,
So you don't go for him anymore.
I think, oh God, how he's calling all the people now that are not with him. Leftists, communists, they don't use the word communism anymore because it died in 1953. Okay, now I'm a communist
Okay.
because I'm against what Trump is doing.
Well,
And I'm getting more and more on the other side. I don't want to be there. I just want to stop Trump.
Okay. All right. Now we've come to a point in our podcast to the shame pile. So who's on your shame pile this week?
Donald J. Trump.
All right. And why?
He has been every news throughout the world.
Okay. So President Trump's your shame pile. So you like to shame Donald Trump for his actions this week, correct? Okay. That's good. That's good. Anyway, my shame is the Democrats. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to shame them.
Go ahead.
Only because, you know, they believe that now they have the right in Congress, because as of January 3rd, they will take power in the Congress and the House of Representatives. And they think now that their agenda is going to go through, and they're going to impeach Donald Trump and Brett Kavanaugh.
They want.
And that's what they're trying to do. That's what
They want.
They already came out and said that's what was their first order of business.
They
So
want.
that's what their first order of business is. But
It's not going to pass on the Senate.
anyway, well, but they're gonna stagnate everything to the point to where nothing gets done. And unfortunately,
That's what you say.
Unfortunately,
And that remains to be seen.
and I think
You
we'll
know
end it-
my famous
Yeah,
phrase.
I think we'll end it there. That'll be another time and another place for another live podcast. But anyway, we want to thank you for joining us for another edition of Garage Door Politics, our live podcast. I'm Greg,
I'm Louis.
and happy Veterans Day to all the veterans, and
For all of you.
very much happy birthday to my lovely, lovely wife.
And thank you very much for watching us.
And then we'll leave you with a little patriotic music. All right, Louis. See you next week.
See you. Have a good day.